Let's talk about it. Federal employee hate. Is it a real thing? Is it warranted? Or is this just something that's being blown out of proportion? That's the topic for discussion today. With that being said, let's get into the clips.
Let's talk, y'all. Good morning. So, it was brought to my attention last night as I was on the phone with a friend of mine who was telling me a family member of hers just got laid off. She worked for the federal government. And we realized there's so much hate for those that work for the federal government. I did not know that. Why so much hate? Why does people don't like them? I'm just confused. I mean, most of them do work from home, but the narrative is they work from home and they're lazy and it's just wasteful, their salary, but they're working. There are regular people like you and I that have mortgages, car notes, kids to take care of at home, kids in college to take care of. So why all the hate? I really want to answer to that. I just don't understand. And there's some people in this app thinks it's funny. I don't find no humor in somebody losing their job. Why can I not zip this up? They find it funny, especially Maggie. They think it's hilarious. They just think it's hilarious. They're like, oh, well, they're gone, so the waste's going to be cut down. We know where that waste is coming from. But it's not coming from these individuals losing their job. How would you like it one day? You just open up your email and you don't have a job. Have you saved at least 12 months of your mortgage? Have you saved 12 months of your card notes? Or
Let's pause right there. Before I get into, before I give my understanding, I want to just say it's definitely nothing funny about anybody losing their job, whether they're in, the federal government sector or private sector. Nothing funny about that, especially when everyone out here has real bills, rent, mortgages, car notes, child care, tuition. So it's definitely nothing funny about that. And individuals laughing online because someone lost their job, definitely insensitive and definitely uncalled for. But I will say this. I think a lot of federal employees got way too comfortable. If we keeping it all the way 100 and we're going to get a full understanding of what's going on, way too many federal government employees got way too comfortable with the security that we all know is associated with government jobs. Whether you think, they work hard or not, I mean, just like with any job, I'm sure it's people that BS and don't do their job. And I'm sure some government workers that are, very efficient, um, and do everything they're supposed to do and go above and beyond. Again, we all know whether private or public, um, you're going to have both. Maybe in the government sector, you may be able to get away with being a low performer a little bit more than on the private side. But overall, I think that this should be a wake up call for federal employees that in this day and age, you can never get too comfortable. When I sit back and look at my life, and whenever things went left or things weren't going right for me, it was because I was too comfortable. Whether that was at work, whether it was a relationship, I wasn't attacking life, I wasn't being aggressive. In this day and age, it is imperative that you do more. You got to do more. And ultimately, I think like I said, a lot of federal employees really got caught with their pants down, thinking that they were untouchable. No matter how you feel about Trump, whether you for him or against him, this man is he told you what he was gonna do. He told you he was gonna drain the swamp. He was very clear, he was very direct about his goals and about his intentions, and that's exactly what he's doing. This man is not playing around. So people really need to stop thinking that this is a game. It's not a game at all. Like I said, the buyout was presented. In my personal opinion, if it was me and I was a federal employee, I would have took the buyout because it's very obvious that they're going to try to find any and every way to fire you. If they want you gone 9 times out of 10, they're going to be able to do so. So why not take the 6, 7 months of pay, regroup, restructure, and then move on from there?
just you have a huge savings. Like, how would you like that? How would that make you feel? Because I think it's very cruel to find that funny, somebody being laid off. And you got people that are just being let go. They're on probationary period. Like you had one lady, I think I read, she said she was like a week getting off her probation period. And she got an email. That is sad. That's going to have a domino effect on the economy. When you have an economy that is not working, that's almost lead to like the Great Depression. That's sad. That we might be standing back in line, asking for bread and some government cheese. And those of you that are laughing and think this is hilarious, I hope that you do not lose your job. I really do. Because no job, no career can also lead to homelessness. But we all know that. So let's just think of others, all right? And I think during this election, most people just thought of themselves. Yeah, so that's all I got to say, y'all. I'm about to hit the road. Early bird, get the worm. Talk to y'all later.
Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe the hate that federal employees are receiving online, is it warranted?
I just watched a video a couple of moments ago of a guy who reports the news, and he was talking about the federal employees and how they're getting laid off left and right. Just, a hostile takeover was the phrase that he used, which is probably the correct term at this point. And the comments under that video were so sickening. You had people actually celebrating that federal workers are losing their jobs. You had people literally saying things like, oh, good riddance. Oh, now I know my tax dollars are being utilized effectively. Do you? It's good because they've made millions of dollars at the taxpayer's expense. And it really got me thinking about the lack of ability to use deductive reasoning for adults. There are too many adults on this app with one brain cell, literally using one brain cell. And all they could say was, oh, we're glad that federal workers are being let go because our tax dollars are really going to be used for good this time. Well, I got news for you. If you think that, clearly, either you're thinking way too hard or you're not thinking enough. Federal workers, if they're laid off, no, they're not just going to sit at home and collect unemployment. That might be the first 1 or 2 days. But rest assured, federal workers are going to start going into these private sectors, these private corporations and companies and businesses, etc. That's where they're going to be applying for jobs next. And if you thought it was hard for you to either keep your job, get a raise, or get a new job, it has become 3 times harder now. That all of those federal employees, and still counting because Muskrat is still going through and doing more layoffs, okay?
Yeah, as far as these layoffs go, this is just the beginning. Again, this administration is just warming up. I mean, I don't even think it's been a month yet. So there's way more layoffs to come. Um, Again, like I said, in my personal opinion, I would have took the buyout and try to get ahead of things, try to restructure some things at home. At least that 6, 7 months of severance that you get. If you need to sell your home, you need to, consolidate. You can make some moves in 6, 7 months. Even if you want to do a change of career, move into a different field, with that 6, 7 months, you can make that happen. Again, I think the people who are really going to be hurt from this are the ones that are going to try to fight it, thinking that you're going to get some Joe Smo lawyer to go up against the federal government. You're an absolute fool. Your money is nowhere long enough. Again, they'll extend these court cases out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You don't have the bank to play. You have to. This is not the time to be emotional. Okay, like this is a really real video. This is not the time to be emotional. Making these TikTok videos. You have to look at this like some of you federal employees, especially ones that just keep it real. Like your job is really not that important. Maybe it's a paper pusher type job. You got to think strategically about this. At this point in time, you're literally a prisoner of war. You're behind enemy lines right now. This is not the time to be emotional. You have to be very logical, very calculated, and have a plan, or you're not going to survive these next 4 years. You're not going to make it. Again, imagine going to work every day and understanding that you're literally under the microscope. Any little thing you do, you're going to be written up, written up, and then eventually terminated. And then they're probably going to try to make it to whereas you can't get no unemployment. If you were smart, I believe the deadline is closed. You would have took that buyout and just it's time to move on. Sometimes you gotta all good things eventually come to an end, and it's looking like this is the end of the road for many. Again, it's a lot of people are not going to want to hear this. They're not going to want to be reality based. They're going to want to be emotional about it. But this is just the facts, and this is how you have to approach these things so you could come out the other side.
Okay, so at this point, you had to fight to get another job, and the most you had to worry about is going up against a few thousand people. Now, triple that, quadruple that. Because if you think federal employees are not going to be going searching for employment in the private sectors, you are a fool. And I'm just going to say, even if they don't apply for jobs in the private sector, laying off individuals from certain federal government entities is dangerous in itself. I did a video the other day about the layoffs at the CDC and the NIH and how detrimental that is to public health. I know for a fact that laying off those 15,000 proposed employees, whether they are probationary or not, from the IRS is only going to impact the tax season. Rest assured, what I think might come out of it is that the IRS may even have to extend the April 15th date to accept tax returns because of it. Because they're going to be severely behind. They already had a struggling workforce. The poor people that work for the state unemployment offices, they were already short-staffed. Now they're going to be short-staffed, and they have that many more applicants that are going to be looking for benefits because they are newly unemployed. All I know is there's a special place in hell for people who wish bad on others, especially when it comes to federal employees who have been completely blindsided by the foolishness that is going on up there on that hill. I'm sorry, but wishing someone else's demise does not end well for you. My prayers to all the federal workers. I don't care what you do. My prayers to you, because it is hard out here to live. People are trying to figure out how they're going to feed their families every day. Y'all up here complaining about them $18 eggs, but you happy that a federal employee has lost their job? Please go touch grass. And I ain't talking about no turf either. Go touch real grass, please.
One thing I said again, I want to reiterate: no one should be cheering or happy that anyone lost their job. Again, like I said, that's very immature. It's very insensitive. But one thing I will say is federal employees should have. She mentioned that they were blindsided, and that's a part I kind of disagree with. This this man told you exactly what he was going to do. He's literally whether you like him or dislike him, the man told you exactly what he was going to do during the campaign, and he's literally playing it out to a T at this point in time. Soon as he was elected, you should already known, oh, it's game time. But again, this all comes back to federal employees being too comfortable. And I know a lot of people, I know it's going to be federal employees in the comments, and they're not going to like me saying this, but yeah, guys got way too comfortable. And that is one of the problems with being on, the government side versus the private sector. Private sector, you're constantly being evaluated. Businesses are, they're looking over, they're seeing, hey, are you really bringing value to this company? Do you add to the bottom line? Essentially, do you bring us money? Are you a revenue generator? And on the government side, that's not so much the case. So again, I believe, sadly, it is sad what's going on, but a lot of government employees got way too comfortable for way too long. And this is, the fallout that we're seeing. Again, I just want to reiterate again, this is not the time to be emotional. This is not the time to be crying and begging and being sad on TikTok and Instagram. You got to be strategic because, like I said, right now, you're a prisoner of war.
The federal government.
Wrong clip there. Bear with me. Here we go.
This is John Bell, Bell Law Group. Just a follow up to my recent videos. There's been a lot of hate on the comments to federal employees, and it's really undeserved. Federal employees are hardworking, whether or not they're working from home or not. Just like any business, private sector or not, there's always going to be some bad apples. But for the most part, these are very, very good people. So this blind attacks on federal employees are completely unwarranted. And I find that it's hypocritical, because if you were a federal employee or had a loved one, a family member that's a federal employee, you'd feel differently.
Definitely some truth there. Again, like I said, no one should be laughing or finding joy in other people's demise.
Stella will not be silenced because I am in fear of losing something that they already want to take. Anyway, just not. I'm just not. I can't do it. And it bothers me because I've heard all since I've been, oh, I couldn't have been in this era. I wouldn't have been silenced. Oh, I couldn't have been, I would have spoke out. And then now I'm just not.
What is that in that woman's ear? Hold on. Like, I mean, y'all, if you if you're an OG subscriber, sometimes I get a little distracted because some of these people come on camera just with anything on, like one, two, three, four, five, six. She got about seven piercings in one ear. I mean, what is the point of that? Can someone in the comments let me know why you need seven, eight piercings in one ear? Let me know in the comments below. Let's continue. I'm sorry.
I'm just not. I can't do it. And it bothers me because I've heard all since I've been, oh, I couldn't have been in this era. I wouldn't have been silenced. Oh, I couldn't have been, I would have spoke out. And then now I'm just watching people just sit back. Oh, just don't say nothing because you're going to lose your job. Don't say nothing. Come to work. Be quiet. Don't say nothing. Come into work. Don't tiptoe around. Don't have no conversations. Oh, you might not want to protest. You run the risk of losing your job. I ran the risk soon as they voted him into office. Okay? I'm not going to be silenced because I'm not scared. And I'm really unbothered by anything that they put out because I'm going to say what I want to say anyway. Okay? Y'all can be scared all y'all want to, but if you're a federal employee,
This is what I was just alluding to in previous clips. Coming on TikTok, coming on Instagram, being emotional and trying to be Billy Badass and talking tough online. This is not going to help you. This is not the time and place to be running your mouth unnecessarily online, showing your hand. You're a prisoner of war right now. If you were if just imagine if you was fighting and you get caught by the enemy, right? You get caught by the enemy. Would it be wise for you to be talking shit to the enemy that has you captive? Or would it be better for you to shut your mouth and to be strategically planning inside your head how you're going to get away or how you're going to get ahead? Again, this is pure emotion that you see. This is pure emotion that you see right here. And then if she does wind up losing her job, she'll be upset and wonder, what was one of the causes. Again, we got to be more strategic as a people and stop being so emotional.
they after us anyway. Y'all federal employees and people that no federal employees, let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how y'all truly feel about all of this that's going on, because whether you believe it or not, you ain't got a belief. It's a whole bunch of places that depend on federal funds. And if you think for 1 second, oh, it's just federal and it's just this and you ain't gonna be touched, just wait and see. Just wait and see. The farmers are already seeing it. Think about all these other businesses. While it's okay, the federal employees, they don't work no way. We do work. We've been understaffed and overworked for a very long time. So see how it's going to affect you and your job. Yeah, I work in pharmaceuticals. See how it's going to affect you. All right? I work in shipping and receiving. You don't know if your company get a federal contract until they lay you off. I'm going to get off of here. It's just another day being a federal employee.
Yeah, she needs to get off the internet real fast, delete the app, because like I said, she's about to write a check that her ass can't cash. Again, like I said, this is not the time to be emotional. This is not the time to be showing your hand on the internet. This is the time to be strategic and making moves behind the scenes.
I never knew that so many regular working class people, and I'm only saying regular because I'm trying to distinguish you all from government workers, because you guys have put us up on such a high pedestal. Clearly we are esteemed and looked at as better than you guys. So you regular working people, I never knew that you had such hatred in your hearts and such disdain and envy and jealousy over us esteemed federal workers. I never knew that.
If you're an OG subscriber, you know that I used this clip in another video I did talking about federal employees. I had to bring it back because I wanted to make some more commentary that I did in the last one. I kind of held back a little bit, but I'm gonna let it fly in this one. Um, I could be wrong, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of pushback and a lot of people gonna be mad in the comments, but she looked like one of them federal employees that you call up, you try to handle some business or trying to get something taken care of on the government side, and she looked like the type that'll have you on hold for about 20 minutes while she having another conversation with somebody, while she on Facebook, while she doing her makeup. She just looked like she be BSing at the job. Let me know in the comments. Am I spot on, or am I off base?
You know, I never knew that the fact that we stayed out of the way, we worked from home, or, you know, worked some days in the office and some days at home. I never knew that that was a source of contention for you. I never knew that it bothered your souls to know that we were afforded such opportunities. I never knew that you guys thought that each and every president that was before Trump allowed us to stay at home all these years, because remember, Trump was in office before too, so he was one of those presidents, and do absolutely nothing. I never knew that. I never knew you guys felt like the government ran the way that it ran by robots, because clearly it wasn't us human people, because we didn't do anything while we were at home and you were slaving at work at Walmart or wherever you work.
She petty for that. You see how she tried to say Walmart? I could tell. She petty. She get petty. She be one of the ones that you on the phone with attitude, arguing back and forth with. I can already tell. Look at the face. Look at his face. Look at his face. I'm telling you, this one of them. Trust me. Trust Mr. Understanding. This is one of them.
Nothing wrong with Walmart. But clearly, the way you guys think, we got it so much better and you hate it. I had all these people under the last video that I wrote talking about, oh, you guys needed to do this and welcome back and all this stuff. Like, did that hurt your pockets because we were working out? Did it stop your bag? I don't know. I would think that if you felt like we had it just so great, you would actually try to be an esteemed federal worker instead of a regular worker. Yeah. And once again, I'm only saying those things because I'm going to have a lot of people that don't comprehend very well. So I'm going to try to say it in ABC terms. I'm using the word regular because you guys act as if that's what you are, regular. Because we have all these privileges, so we're esteemed and we look like we're better than you guys. Apparently we are, because that's how y'all act. Every time I see somebody talking about welcome back, every time I see somebody saying y'all should have been back in the office, that makes me feel like I am upper echelon and you are regular. Clearly, you must feel regular to have that much envy that has nothing to do with you and affect your life in any way. Clearly, that's regular behavior.
Petty to the max. Petty to the max. Again, let me know how y'all feel about this. Federal employees, do you believe their hate is warranted? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, like I said, we went kind of long on this one. Try to give you some understanding of really what's going on and what type of mind frame you need to be in. Again, as you see in these last two clips, these women were very emotional. And this is not the time to be emotional. This is the time to be very strategic and very logical. Again, because this is just the beginning and things with this administration are just warming up. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I know this is going to be quite a interesting topic, and a lot of people are going to have a lot of different thoughts and opinions. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.